Winter is when many women feel they lose their sense of style, not because they stop caring, but because staying warm starts to feel like a compromise. Layers pile on, comfort takes over, and presence quietly slips into the background. Yet, elegant women don't actually dress better in winter. They simply don't abandon one small rule, and it changes how everything comes together. And to understand why that rule matters, we first need to talk about what winter actually does to how we dress and how we're perceived. Winter doesn't just change the weather, it changes behavior. Cold shortens patience. Heavy clothing alters posture. Mornings feel rushed because warmth becomes the priority. And slowly, without noticing, many women shift from intentional dressing to functional survival. Not because they lack taste, but because winter introduces friction. Thicker fabrics add bulk, layers hide lines, shoes prioritize insulation over elegance, and when every outfit requires more pieces, decision fatigue sets in. The result isn't bad style, it's unfinished style. This is where elegance often gets misunderstood. Elegant women aren't immune to cold. They're not walking through winter in delicate coats or impractical shoes. They wear layers. They choose warmth. But they do something subtly different. They simplify their visual message. Instead of reacting to winter, they decide how they want to be perceived before they get dressed. Calm, composed, grounded, and then they build warmth around that intention. That's why winter elegance rarely looks dramatic. It looks settled, quiet, almost effortless. And once you see this shift, the first rule becomes obvious because it's the foundation everything else rests on. The moment winter outfits start to feel chaotic, elegant women do one thing first. They reduce the noise. Rule number 1, visual calm comes first. The first winter styling rule elegant women never skip is visual calm. Winter already adds enough weight to an outfit, physically and visually. Thick knits, structured coats, boots, scarves, layers. When too many elements compete at once, the eye doesn't know where to rest. And when the eye feels overwhelmed, the impression becomes hurried rather than confident. Visual calm signals control. This doesn't mean dressing plainly or avoiding personality. It means being selective. Elegant women choose fewer focal points, especially in winter, because calm is associated with assurance. When an outfit looks considered, the wearer appears composed, even before she speaks. You'll notice this most clearly in everyday situations. Two similar winter outfits. Same coat length, similar colors, same level of warmth. One feels scattered, different textures pulling attention in every direction. The other feels intentional. The pieces relate to each other. The difference isn't money or trend awareness, it's restraint. And when visual calm is established, something unexpected happens. The body relaxes, posture improves, movement becomes more fluid, which leads directly into the next rule because elegance isn't only what we see when standing still. Once the eye feels calm, the body follows, and that's where winter elegance becomes visible in motion. Rule number 2, movement matters more than silhouette. In winter, many women focus entirely on silhouette, how something looks standing still. But elegant women prioritize something more revealing, movement. Heavy fabrics, rigid tailoring, and overlayering can quietly restrict the body. When clothes feel stiff, the body compensates. Shoulders rise, steps shorten, hands disappear into pockets, and even the most beautiful outfit loses its effect if the wearer appears physically guarded. Elegance is perceived through motion. This is why elegant women choose winter pieces that allow ease. Coats that open naturally when walking, knits that drape rather than grip, trousers that move fluidly when sitting or standing, not because they're loose, but because they're responsive. When movement feels intentional, the body relaxes. Posture straightens without effort, gestures become slower, more deliberate, and that calm presence registers before details like color or brand ever do. This is especially important in ordinary moments. Walking into a cafe, standing in line, crossing the street. Winter elegance isn't judged in mirrors, it's noticed in transitions. Walk in a stiff, overly structured winter outfit. Then repeat the same movement in a softer, more flexible version. Similar warmth, different behavior. Let the contrast speak quietly. And once movement feels natural again, the next challenge appears. Because winter doesn't just affect motion, it alters balance. When clothes move well, proportion becomes the next thing the eye notices, especially under layers. Rule number 3. Proportion is adjusted, not abandoned. Winter has a way of distorting proportions. Layers add volume where we're not used to it, coats lengthen the body visually, boots change how weight is distributed, and many women respond by giving up on balance altogether. Elegant women don't. They don't fight winter layers, they recalibrate proportions around them. Instead of trying to look smaller or thinner, they focus on harmony. If the coat is oversized, the base layer becomes streamlined. If the trousers are wide, the upper layers soften rather than add bulk. The goal isn't to hide the body, it's to let the eye move smoothly from top to bottom. This is where elegance becomes deeply inclusive. Different bodies require different balances. On curvier figures, softer tailoring often creates a more elegant flow. On straighter frames, structure can provide clarity. Age doesn't change this principle, only the way it's applied. Proportion is not about rules, it's about relationship. And once proportion is handled thoughtfully, there's one last winter habit elegant women are careful about, because it quietly undermines everything else. Even a well-balanced outfit can lose its impact when too many pieces compete for attention. Rule number 4. One statement, never 5. Winter outfits naturally include more elements. Coats, scarves, boots, bags, gloves. When each one tries to stand out, the result feels busy rather than intentional. Elegant women limit focal points. They allow one element to lead, a beautiful coat, a sculptural boot, a refined scarf, and let everything else support it. This restraint isn't about minimalism, it's about clarity. When the eye knows where to land, the wearer appears confident. When everything competes, attention scatters and elegance dissolves. This is why winter elegance often looks simpler than expected. It's not missing interest, it's directing it. If you're drawn to this quieter, more thoughtful way of approaching style, you may enjoy staying here. This space is about refinement without pressure. You're always welcome to subscribe. And all of these rules, calm, movement, proportion, restraint, are quietly supporting something deeper. Because elegant women, no matter the season, never leave one thing unfinished. And that brings us to the most important winter rule of all. The most important rule, never look unfinished. All of the previous rules quietly lead to this one. The winter rule elegant women never break. They never leave the house looking unfinished. Not perfect, not styled, finished. Winter outfits often fail not because they're unattractive, but because they feel accidental, thrown together, rushed. The coat is warm, the shoes are practical, the layers make sense, but something feels unresolved. And that unfinished feeling is what registers to others first. Elegant women are deeply aware of this. They understand that elegance is less about what you wear and more about whether the outfit feels complete in intention. Finished means the elements relate to each other. It means nothing looks like an afterthought. Not the shoes, not the bag, not the hair, not even posture. This doesn't require time or money. It requires a pause, a moment to ask, does this feel deliberate? I noticed this once while sitting in a cafe on a winter afternoon. Two women walked in within minutes of each other. Both were dressed warmly. Both wore dark coats and boots. Nothing about their outfits was particularly striking, but one of them drew quiet attention. Her coat was buttoned with intention. Her scarf wasn't decorative, it was placed. Her movements were unhurried. The other woman wasn't poorly dressed. She simply looked mid-transition, as though she had stepped out before fully arriving. That's the difference. And when an outfit feels finished, the wearer feels settled. That's when winter elegance becomes effortless, because it's no longer about the clothes. Winter doesn't demand more effort from us. It asks for clearer intention. Elegant women aren't trying to look impressive in the cold. They're trying to feel grounded within it. And that's why their presence doesn't disappear under layers. It becomes quieter, stronger, more assured. The truth is, Elegance was never about perfection or aesthetics alone. It's awareness applied gently, especially on days when comfort matters most. This week, notice the difference between being dressed and being finished, not for others, but for yourself. Observe how your posture changes, how your movements slow, how your presence feels when nothing is accidental. Because elegance isn't seasonal. It doesn't vanish in winter.
And
it simply
often, that
becomes
intention
more
is
intentional.
the warmest thing you can wear.